And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing 7 Days to Die. Alright, I actually just got this dug out. It is nice and flat. And we've got our markers here. So I've got some rebar to put in place of our wood. So those mark the 4 main pillars right in the center. This is not going to be concrete. That's probably going to be actually a hole for a ladder going up and down right in the middle there. Okay. Because this is going to be a cage where you'll be able to fight, fight the zombies. Okay, so coming out here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like that. So that should be, let's get this all flattened out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's the 3 blocks that I said I needed. What I want to do is get this front area kind of settled in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Good. Because there's going to be a little tweak right in the middle here. Because the hatch access to go underneath and to access the base is going to go over here. The too wide for spikes is going to be narrowed down to 1 in here. So we have 1, 2, 3. So this one right here, all the way around, is going to be the concrete block. I think I did that right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. Why does that seem like it's off? That seems like it's off. I gotta look at this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have 2 for spikes, and then 1 for a wall. So that's right. This is just, I must have dug that out for reasons. Okay, so this area right in here, we're going to have 3 right in the middle. 1, 2, 3. And these 3, this is going to be like this. Because it's a lot easier to jump over 1 spike than it is 2. It's very difficult to easily jump over, 2 spikes without getting pinched a little bit. So I'm gonna shrink that in by 1 so that it's a little easier to jump over that, and then we're gonna plan on having, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I want 1 more on this side. And to avoid any mistakes, let's make sure. There we go. See how that raised up like that? Lovely, isn't it? That one could use a little. Let's just make sure we're all flat and level here. Key to any good construction is making sure you're level. Okay. So, I would like this one gone right here. Because the important part about this process, for me anyway, what anybody else, is because we're in the apocalypse and we have zombies roaming around, as I'm digging and building this thing, I want to make sure that I'm protected, at least a little bit. So for me anyway, I like to get the spikes in first, because once the spikes are going all the way around, then I'll have either advanced warning or a slight defense against the zombies that come in. So if a zombie horde, if I'm down there working and we're digging the rest of this out, because even though I've dug all this out, the digging has just begun. We still have to go quite a ways down for the whole thing to be done. But yeah, I like the spikes to be in there, and that way I'm a little protected. So I want to get this first concrete line going all the way around, and then I can start digging out the spike trench, which is going to be one down here and then one more down for concrete. So, oh, there's a screamer. I hope she didn't see me. Okay, good. So the access to this, I need a way to get underneath the spikes. The access to this is going to be right here. So I'm going to have, there's going to be there's going to be a hole right here, and that is where, actually, I could put that right here instead and give myself a little bit of flat room here to breathe. So there'll be a hatch there, and there'll be a ladder going down, and they'll be going all the way down to access that room. And I want to get that fleshed out first. Let's get I'm going to get some sod made. Takes a little while for the sod to get made, because I need to patch up these edges like that, just so there's an actual ramp up. That way the zombies don't sit and pound on it. They could still do that, but a lot less likely with that system in place. So obviously this also needs to be dug out, because this is essentially the outer wall of the system. So I want one there, and until I get a really good supply of concrete, and I've got more cooking. I like to make my pillars the finished product first, and then I can sort of ramp everything up from there. So all of these in here, like that. Then I'll set these down in one and get those going. So this line here, going all the way around, this will be more or less the line where the skirting ends, and then in here, this is where the death happens. This is where all the blade traps are going to go, right on the inside of this. So it's a pretty good design. Works really well. You just gotta have to have patience with it, because if you plan it out and you work on it little bits at a time, that lines up with that. One, two, three. Yep. Works very, very well. And it's very effective at killing zombies. It's also very effective at allowing you to loot all said zombies, even in single player. Well, I'm going to be testing that. I think it'll work fine in single player. I mean, I have pretty high expectations about this design. So the reason I'm putting them up above first, so I can go around and poke holes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. that side. Now I can put all of these down all the way across. There we go. And then the last row out here. And these are all of my support pillars. That's what I'm putting in here right now. So when I dig down underneath, I know exactly where my support pillars are. All right, so dig that, put that in there. Dig that. I could put these like right next to one another, and that would help me out a little bit. Oh, I still went too far. So with all those in, I wanna sort of make sure those have some time to dry. See, I'll be digging underneath these, but the way that I do it, it works out. I'm not too worried. It works out pretty well. And I just realized I should not have finished these off. That was a mistake. I'm gonna end up pulling those up. So that was a waste. That was a waste of 40 concrete right there. So don't do that. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Do this in bulk. I have a couple places where I've got an extra hole, like right there. So it's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious I don't put one in there. If it's not on the line, see, it's not on the line, so I know that would be a mistake putting one in there. Those are done, those are done. And plus, getting this going like this, starting the construction, really ramps up your construction tool skills. Upgrading concrete like this does wonders for your construction tools. There. We're making progress. So once this is more or less fleshed out, there's a little dicey right there. So this is kind of a step-by-step on how to build this base design. I know when I stream it, and people see the multiplayer game, and they see the base design. I get some pretty good comments on that. So I kind of wanted to show everybody how to build it. Of course, once you know the final design, you can go about the process of building it any way you want. This is just the process that I do. Just break it down into easy to do steps, and everything is all good. So that is the general layout right there. We zoom in here. Can't really see much yet. Everything's kind of blocked off. So this is all dirt. So once we start getting this stuff upgraded, it'll go a long ways. So the next step for me is going to be digging out the wall, the outer wall, and putting the rebar in all the way around. You don't necessarily, depending on how much concrete you have, you don't necessarily need to fill them in. They won't dig down into the rebar as long as it's flat. So you're good with that. So I want to, and I've repaired this quick axe. I've repaired it twice already, maybe even 3 times. Yeah, maybe 2 or 3 times I've repaired this thing. Do I have the forged iron to repair it again? I don't. It's gonna die any second. I need to go back before I get too far away. I need to go back and grab. I'm gonna put a wood frame in this hole for now, because if a zombie does fall into that, they will try to beat up that that rebar. So they will hammer on that rebar if they fall into that hole. I need to get some forged iron. Yeah, my stuff is filling up fast. Plant fibers I'll keep. I'm gonna grab some dirt just in case I need some new sod. I want to make sure I've got it. And let's continue this going around. So yeah, this is a rebar at concrete heavy build. But once you're set up, once you've got your initial system going, it goes pretty fast. The quick axe helps. I'm not gonna lie. I like the building process. Uh-oh. Another boar. Yes, another boar. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take that away. Where are they at? Oh, if I had an AK-47, that would be awesome. Where are they at? There they are. Neat. Ow. Oh, I'm bleeding out, really? Bandage. And hunting knife. I don't know why it airs out on the boars so much. It actually works. Okay, let's go hunt some boar. They're all over here. I think those deer carcasses are still over here too. Really? Okay. It's like pigs in a barrel. Or no, fish in a barrel. Not pigs in a barrel. And of course, the zombies over here. Messing up my mojo. Oh, the head bob gets me every time. Come on. Just die. So annoying. Thank you. Back to what I was doing. Okay. Stop running. Oh man, are you kidding me? Hey, he was bleeding, so at least he died. Okay. How about the ones that are walking? I'm going to aim at those guys first. Yeah, I don't know why it throws that many errors for the boars, because they actually work. What are you doing? This is meat central over here. At least it didn't despawn him. I kept him in viewing range. Oh, there's a screamer. Off in the distance. Oh, this guy's gonna be mad. Wow. Guaranteed bleed out when you get hit by a boar. How much meat have I gotten? That was one wandering horde and a half right there. Yeah, I wish I knew why it was throwing all those errors, because it really shouldn't. Let's go make sure the screamer didn't make it into our house. That would stink. Oh, no, she died. Couldn't quite navigate. Couldn't quite navigate my door here. Alright, so I've got some meat. Yay! Oh, it's all good. Ooh, I think it's time for a meat stew. Eat. Yummy. I got some more bottled water. So let's put the iron and the stone away. Animal hide, lots of that. Bone and animal fat, those are all good too. Alright, so that was a fun little horde. Very, very fruitful. Got some good use out of my hunting knife, thank goodness. Now what was I doing? Oh yeah. Getting this finished up. Oh, even some of these are even drying. Okay, getting these across. Alright, so this is just the process, and once this line is done, oh, now I can finally repair this. Why did that come up? Steam overlay came on. Yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do one more line around on the outside. And then I'm going to dig this out in here. And then I'm going to dig one more out. And then those are all going to be rebar. And that's where the spikes are going to go. And we're going to need a ton of material for the spikes. An absolute ton. So I'm glad I've found so much iron around. Because we're going to go through a lot of iron in a very short amount of time. So once that stack of stone is done in the forge, I'm going to need to kickstart some more iron. And hopefully 2 stacks, 1,200 blocks worth of concrete will be enough to at least get me going. Otherwise, we're gonna be tough. I don't really want to get a second forge going. I could easily get a second forge going, but the number of screamers that would start spawning, it just grows. So I'm not really protected enough to feel comfortable having multiple forges right now. But for the most part, I can usually work through the night. So, I mean, not too bad. I mean, I've got a nice open area here now, so I can really see the zombies coming, or I can hear them coming. And if they come across, I mean, if they drop off this little ledge here, they'll actually make noise, so I'll be able to hear them. And yeah, that'll really help. As a side note, what I'm going to do before I start this, I'm going to get the next Miner 69er 20 points, but that will really help build up as I clear out some of this iron. It'll help keep me flush with the iron and the stone, because we're going to go through a ton of both. All right, well, that'll do it for this episode, and I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.